it's like how we do escapism through video games, and now in the modern era, being able to successfully own a small business is fantasy for
That's very true.
Now that we have reached 2025, we can look at our Steam replay. It's that time of year. And we talked about our 2023 recaps during the Advent calendar, but now we can talk about the 2024. And so, with that being said, I was wondering if you wanted to maybe look at your spider graph.
Sure, you can also look at my spider graph, so that's exciting.
That's fun too. Let's take a gander.
Spider graph.
So
mine probably isn't going to be super. It's not going to be super surprising.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Oh boy. Yep. Okay. So I like how there's literally just a point on the graph that's just Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, it's its own genre.
Yeah.
It is its own thing.
Yeah.
So I think mechs. For me, I know you're showing it up on screen.
Yeah.
For me, mechs was because I played a lot of Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I were to scroll a bit more on mine, I can tell you I played, and it took up 9% of my total playtime. It had 35 sessions with 3-day streak, apparently. So that definitely, I played that and the newest Mech Warrior game I also played, so like that I played a bunch of this year.
Yeah.
Warhammer 40K, obviously Space Marine 2. Probably some other stuff as well, but like the biggest thing, the Space Marine 2 came out and I chugged at that a bit.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
The other thing there, and as I looked, and Looter Shooter actually comes from Palworld.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of that comes from Palworld. It's in the tags. It is a looter shooter.
Interesting. I would not pin it as that myself, but okay.
Space Sim for Warhammer 40K, all the mech games, Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, those are all Space Sims. So,
sure. Yeah, that'll do it.
I had No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous are my top 2 played games this year.
Yeah, so that'll get you Space Sims.
Yeah, which is funny because mechs was more prevalent than anything else, so that's weird, I guess. MMO, I think it came from partially playing like New World again.
Sure.
But I also do try, like I'll go through a little rabbit hole sometimes and just start playing free MMOs to see if there's anything that catches my fancy. Yeah. I think Once Human also counted as an MMO. I didn't stick with that,
No, me neither. So
EVE Online I played a little bit of, which is an MMO. The Division might count as an MMO. I'm not really sure. I think it's also looter shooter.
Might be. Yeah. What's Dog from?
Wobble Dogs.
Oh, copy that. Okay.
Yep. So the reason Dog is on there, 100% Wobble Dogs, which you now have in your Steam library. So
yeah.
I will be next year.
I'll be wobbling.
I'm hoping next year's or this year's graph for you will include Dog on it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Cool. Well, that is a little different than your 2023 graph. By a bit. I think Mechs is a little bit. Warhammer and Mechs is definitely a much more prominent on there.
Yeah. Well, new games came out, and I was like, "Ooh, shiny."
Yeah, shiny. And it looks like you played. Side note: 32% of your playtime was new releases, which is interesting.
But 28% being classic games that were 8 years or older, which includes No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
Yeah.
And then 40% for 1 to 7 years. I'm actually kind of curious. 33% of mine was also apparently for new releases, and only 8 for classics, and 59% were recents. 1 to 7 years, because I'm late to the party on a lot of games is basically what it amounts to. But okay, let's talk about my spider graph here. The two big points on the spider graph are
Don't surprise me at all.
action roguelike and open world survival craft. Open world survival craft makes the most sense. That is the big. I mean, that would account for. I think
So many games.
everything that I did. Like, most of my playtime on Steam was, let's see, Coral Island, and like Pal World is a big part of that, and like Dave the Diver. Yeah, and Elden Ring. So yeah, there's a lot of open world stuff, action roguelike, which I'm going to say, I guess some of them might be considered kind of
I think
action
Nimrods
roguelike.
would be an action roguelike.
Yeah. You know what? And the thing about it is that in addition to Nimrods, I also have Wall World. I spent a good portion of my time with. Pesticide Not Included, which I talked about before. And actually, Dave the Diver might actually be considered an action roguelike because those maps change. So this makes sense to me. That makes sense. And then what else do we have? We have Farming Sim. Yep.
Well, yeah, 100%. You're a fan of farming sims.
Coral Island alone is probably how we get there. For the record, I think I have 200 hours into Coral Island. It was 80 hours before when it first released, and it came out of alpha because I was a backer for them. But then, since they've actually gone into version 1 this year, I had to like start a new character. They say like you can't keep your old character because now we're in version 1, but here's the thing, the progress that you made before, for like a New Game Plus, you get to count as money. And so I started the game with like 300 gold, 300,000 gold or something like that. So got a real jump start on it this time to play.
Apparently.
So yeah, farming sims, I play a lot of those. Western and Souls-like.
Was Western from like Blood West or whatever?
Yeah, probably. A game that I should talk about in more detail at some point on this, because, boy, I ended up playing a lot of Blood West, which didn't seem like it'd be a thing, but I got into it. Yeah, and probably like, well, it's, I think it's called Indigo Ranch now, but Don't Die in the West, that would have been in the Western as well. And Souls-like makes sense because you can probably see how much time I spent with Elden Ring this year.
You played a bit of Elden Ring because you modded it. And
I modded it.
Right
like,
at you.
Yeah, I modded it, and people got mad at me, but it's like I don't care. I just wanted to fool around and play with Elden Ring, and see what the world is like. And you know what? It's neat. I'm gonna just say it. I think Elden Ring is neat. But as long as I don't have to play it like I would normally play a Souls game, it's neat. Shopkeeper.
Yeah, would you play that was technically a shopkeeper? Does Coral Island count?
It might count, but I have a feeling...
Oh, Dave the Diver.
Yeah, you know what? Dave the Diver probably counts toward that, but I bet, like, Cozy Keep, I have that one. I played quite a few hours in those. I played many hours into, like, Critter Cove, and that has, like, some shoppy aspects to it. Sometimes the shopkeeping mechanics come into play at the same time you have, like, the farming sim. Those have a lot of crossover to them. Dismantle and Green Hell I played this year, too, so those are definitely the reason why I have survival crafting in here. And Beyond Contact. Man, I did play a lot of games in that genre. What's wrong with me? Oh, yes! Blacksmith Master. I played that demo for way longer than I ever should, so that would be a shopkeeper thing. Absolutely. That would be the reason. I don't know. I like shopkeeper games. I do. There's something fun about it. Like, oh, look, I can craft stuff and make a shop. And I can sell things in my shop. And that's kind of neat when people come and check it out. It's it's like the Moonlighter effect. It's like how we do escapism through video games. And now in the modern era, being able to successfully own a small business is fantasy for
That's very true. To me, it's like when I see that people play like what's that one? Shopping Center, whatever that one was that came out that everyone was playing.
Was it
Everyone was
Grocery
playing
Store
it.
Simulator or something like that?
Yeah, one of those ones where like you're doing grocery store stocking the shelves.
Yeah.
And, like even Let's Game It Out played it too, and I'm just like, okay. But like I sit there and I see people playing that, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. This is
I
not
do this
what
in
I
my
want to
real
do. Like,
life.
I understand job simulators, but like now it's too close to home because that's what I do at work for real.
Oh yeah, this is me for real. I don't need this in my life.
Yeah, it's like no, thank you.
Yeah, there was another one that I saw that just came out, and it's like I don't think I get it because I don't necessarily like the look in the interface, but it was like trading card. Game,
it's in the same genre.
Shop,
it's like you own a little shop or whatever.
Yeah.
And people come in and do things.
Yeah,
I didn't want to try that one either. I did see Spiff and Brit played a video of that. Or did
Oh sure.
Like,
There's one I played. I don't know if it was this year. I think it might have been last year. That I picked up. I think it was like Amazon Games, but it was Cardboard Kings, and it's a similar idea. You have like a trading card shop, and you trade different trading cards and put them into the shop. But I don't know, that was a little bit more like a top-down kind of game, and I don't know, that was more engaging than what the trading card simulator looked like. But
yeah, honestly, if I'm gonna do any kind of job sim, it needs to be something that is satisfying to do.
Sure.
Like power washing simulator.
Yeah.
It's like your job is to clean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck yeah, it's satisfying. Look how clean this is.
But Did you see, just side note, that there's like a Warhammer add-on for
I got it.
Power?
100%.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you
100%.
did. I figured. This is like your favorite things.
Yeah, I'm like 100% need to be in here cleaning this Warhammer bullshit.
Perfect. Perfect.
It's silly.
Yeah. Oh, the other shopkeeper game, I think this is going to be one I have to play this coming year, and I'll talk about it if I picked up, Definitely Not Fried Chicken, so that's a shopkeeper game.
All right, then.
That'll probably be the next one I try, because I want to definitely not be selling fried chicken, but a different substance of some type.
Yeah.
So yeah, shopkeeper, that makes sense. This is definitely a different graph than last year, but I go where the winds take me. I get on.
You want to go where the people are.
Like, I just get on, like, benders of certain kinds of games, and then I just start playing a lot of that type until I get bored with them, and then I move on to whatever the next one.
Similar, except I just get bored very quickly with things from the ADHD, so...
Yeah.
If a thing does not hold my attention, I'll put like 2 hours into it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
And usually it's going back to something else I know I like for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. There's comfort games that at some point maybe we'll talk about some of our favorite comfort games, but the ones that do feel like comfort food, but in video game form, where it's like, oh man, I don't want to try a new thing. Let me go back to the thing I know I enjoy.
I can tell you right now one of my top comfort games.
Oh yeah? What?
Yeah. World of Warcraft.
Yeah. I kind of figured.
It's just so familiar to me at this point that it's like, alright, well, I don't really want to do anything. I can always do something in here that I'll enjoy.
Oh, sure.
So.
You know what it is for me? I started to realize this last couple of years. It's like
Stardew
Vampire.
Valley.
Well, no, it's Vampire Survivors. Because Vampire Survivors is the kind.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing where it's like I can pick that up and play like one round, which ends up being like 5 sessions. But you pick it up and it's like, I know what I'm doing in Vampire Survivors. Let's go.
And that's the thing too. It's like sometimes I want to play a game and actually have it, like I pay attention to it, and sometimes I want to play a game that's just me kind of mindlessly playing the game. And a lot of times it's the mindlessly playing the game that I do.
Oh yeah, I play a lot of games while I'm watching videos because I want to catch up on stuff too, and like watch video essays and things. So I kind of half pay attention, so I maybe not super story driven, where you kind of just are going around and tooling. That works for me in a lot of times.
I find myself skipping a lot of story dialogue in games I try, because that just doesn't catch me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, this is stuff. I'm like, well, I don't care about the story. I don't want to learn it. I don't want to get invested in it. I don't think I'll like it, but I want to play the game.
Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. So
It's a problem.
yeah, it's a problem. We'll talk about our problems on a later episode. But for right now, so these were our spider graphs from this year. Now that 2024 is in the bag. And we'll see what happens next year. I imagine that these are going to be completely different because I think...
No idea.
I think mine is going to be completely different because a lot of these points were for specific games that feel like they're one-offs, like they're not... The ones that are gonna stay, though, I can pretty much tell you it's like the open world survival crafting because, again, that's one of those where I jump in and it's kind of like, even with a new one, I kind of know how this is gonna work. And probably farming sims, but the other ones, you might not see from me. We'll find out. But anyway, if you want to tell us a little bit about what was on your spider graph or what the most played games were on Steam, GOG, whatever you used, you let us know in the comments down below.